Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome back. Cumberland Outdoorsman back out here once again at my shooting bench with another 22 Rimfire series video. But before I continue, let me first of all express my apologies for not posting any videos lately. We've kind of had some bad things happen here, and it's been just a terrible holiday season for myself and my family. About 2 weeks ago, before I went on my Christmas break, my wife got ill and I had to take her to the hospital. She came down with a really bad case of bacterial meningitis. And for those of you that don't know what that is, that's an infection of the lining of your brain, the cerebral lining and the spinal cord. And I'll tell you, for several days there, she was having seizure after seizure, and I didn't know if she was going to make it back home. But, you know, with a lot of prayers and some great doctors there at Vanderbilt University Medical Center, she pulled through, and thankfully she's back home. But what really made it kind of hard on me is I couldn't be with her, because the second day she was in the hospital, I was tested positive for COVID. So, you know, it's quite a nightmare to know that your spouse is laying there alone and you can't be with them during their hardest time. But she's back home now, and things are starting to look up. I'm doing good, as far as I can tell anyway, and tested negative last week. And hopefully, with the blessings of the good Lord, things will go back to normal and we can continue life as it was before. So let's get back to business here. What I've got here on the table are a couple of old 22's, a couple of old Remingtons. I mean, really old. One of them anyway. This one belongs to an acquaintance of mine. This is a Remington 121 pump action. I've got one of these in my collection. But anyway, we're going to test it out, see how well it shoots, and I'm going to go over it and clean it up a little bit. It's got a little bit of rust freckling here on the receiver and some on the barrel. The rear sight is missing, but I don't think he's too worried about that since he has a scope mounted on it. But this would make an ideal little squirrel rig, provided it's a good shooter. To see how accurate it actually shoots, we're going to put her to the test. And that one there has a code on the barrel. Let's see, let's take a look at that real quick. KA. Okay. So that would be, let's see, May of 1932. That's the manufacture date on this Remington 121 pump action, May of 1932. And this one here is a Remington model 581. It's an old one as well, but you know, it's a little bit rough. And I've got some photos of it and a video of it before I started working on the gun. I've started to clean it up a little bit. It still needs quite a bit of work. You can see that there's some rust right there. And the muzzle had a lot of rust on it. I got that cleaned up pretty well now. And also the trigger guard. This bottom metal here was in bad shape. But I got it cleaned up pretty well. And this is just going to be a truck gun pretty much. You know, something to keep on hand if you're out in the woods and you want to go squirrel hunting. You can grab your rifle out of the truck and just go and, you know, harvest some squirrels or rabbits or whatever it is you're after. But this one here was made, let's see, was made in January. That's January 1968. Okay, that is an American black walnut stock. And you know, I love these little rifles. I love the 581 because they're just such good, dependable, and accurate little shooters. It's a 5-shot clip repeater. It has the 6 locking lugs on the rear of the bolt, as you can see there. I know I've showed this several times before in previous videos, but I just wanted to quickly go over this gun. I cleaned the barrel and just roughly sighted it in. We're going to take a few shots with both rifles, because if the rifle's not going to shoot accurately, there's not much point in trying to restore it. I mean, you could put another barrel on it if you wanted to, but I would probably just move on, you know, sell it to someone that just wants it for a plinker or whatever. But if it's a truly accurate rifle and one of those tack drivers where you can make real ethical shots on small game at long distances, it's a keeper in my book. So let's put her to the test and see how well it shoots. Today, we're just going to go with some standard velocity ammo by CCI and see how well it performs, just basically speaking. And for those of you that have an old Remington, I'm going to leave a link to that site that I found where you can figure out what the date of manufacture of your gun is. So if you look in the description, there'll be a link there. You can click on that and you can correspond what's on the barrel, stamped on the barrel, to see what year of manufacture your old Remington is. Well folks, first I'm going to shoot 5 shots down here at 25 yards with the 581 and then the 121, just to see what kind of accuracy potential that each rifle has before I go forward and do the restoration process. So let's take a quick shot here and see where these rounds land. Now this rifle did not come with this scope on here. I just mounted this on here and kind of roughly sighted it in. I'm going to zoom in on that target down there. All right, look out here. Looks like it's shooting just a little bit to the right. Not bad, folks. Not bad for an old rifle. All right, folks. Now I'm going to go ahead and zoom in and we'll try out the Remington 121 at the same distance. 5 shots using CCI standard velocity. And we'll see how well this little gun performs. This one don't have much of a scope on it, to be honest with you. But we'll try it out anyway. Shooting a little bit high, I think. All right. Now we'll run down there and see what we've got. Well, folks, after taking a closer look at these 5-shot groups at 25 yards, I'm pretty well impressed, you know, really, in both guns. This was the 5-shot group that I shot with the model 581 bolt action, and I got one that's just a little bit low. I think that was the first shot. I'm not really sure. And then 4 shots right there into one ragged hole about the size of a shirt button or an aspirin tablet maybe. And then the one that was a real surprise to me was the 121. It was shooting quite a bit higher, so I was holding right here. And I've got one shot over here. I think that was the first shot. Like I said, I don't remember. Couldn't really see it too well through that scope. And then that's 4 shots through the same hole right there. That's very impressive, especially for a rifle that's that old. You know, that gun's 90 years old. But apparently the bore in that gun is very well preserved, and it's a great little shooter. It would make a terrific squirrel gun. So I'll tell you what, in the next video, I'm going to be going over these old guns. I'm not going to put a really glossy finish on these guns, just a basic finish on the wood, just to keep it preserved, where some of the old finish has just worn down, to be honest with you, and kind of bring the grain back out in the wood. And then I'll be going over all the metal and getting all the little rusty spots that are here and there off of the gun, off the metal, and reassemble it. And you know, if there's enough time left this year, this season, I'll take both of them out and do a little squirrel hunt. Like I said, both of these guns deserve nothing but the best of care with that kind of accuracy. You know, it would be quite a challenge to go out and find a brand new 22 that can shoot that good. I mean, I'll just be honest with you, I've shot a lot of 22s in my time, and what's available now, it's just not as good a quality, I think. I mean, these old guns just shoot. That's all there is to it. That's the reason I love them, because they just have a certain nostalgia to them, a certain magic to these old rifles, you know, that you just don't find nowadays. So in the next video, I'll be going over the restoration of these old guns. So stay tuned and watch that video if you can. And for now, let me wish you well. And before I close out the video, let me wish everyone a happy new year and a very healthy and prosperous new year. Hopefully 2024 will be a good year for all of us. So if you like to go hunting, fishing, camping, shooting, hiking, whatever your outdoor pursuit happens to be, I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. But also remember this, hit that like button, smash the bell icon, and subscribe. That way you'll know when more videos like this one will be coming your way. So until the next video, y'all take good care of yourselves. Get out there and shoot your 22s and enjoy the great outdoors. Stay safe, take care, and God bless. I'll see you next time.